to this strategic planning simplified for entrepreneurs but still comprehensive. Hi, my name is Jojo Apollo. I'm Asia's Revenue Breakthrough Leader and your business mentor so that your business will thrive together with your family. You know, many of business owners that I've been helping have been complaining it's like difficult to make plans, Joe, and I just want to go with the flow. Yeah, that's right. Now the problem is when you go with the flow, then you get into what I call tissue planning. Tissue paper planning. Okay? It's like this. You have a lot of plans, you have a lot of things that you want to do, you have so many things that you want to accomplish. And what happens? Because of tissue paper planning, nothing really gets done, isn't it? I call it tissue paper planning because that's exactly what's happening. The plans are so frivolous and nothing happens. And what happens, my dear friends, when you have really weak business plans? Okay, what happens? There are essentially these things that happen. Number one, you get into cash flow issues. I remember a business friend. He was so happy. He was able to increase his sales by an amazing 70%. Wouldn't you be happy? Yeah. He was very happy until he found that he was not able to anticipate his cash flow and manage the terms of payment with the client. And so he had cash flow problems. And you know what? Cash flow can make you actually bankrupt. It can ruin your business. Not the losses, net loss, that's still manageable, but when you have cash flow problems, that can ruin your whole business. Next is this. I've heard a lot of this. Product launch failures. Okay, so without proper planning, you can have a lot of product launch failures. You lose a lot of money, you get stuck with a lot of inventory of products that are not moving and they get expired and you lose. That's the cost of lack of proper business planning. Another one is this, poor investment decisions. That's right. When you do that, you start to over-invest on certain things, and then later on there's an opportunity that you were also thinking about, and now you don't have the cash in order to invest into that business. That happens too. And of course, when you have weak systems, it's just like husband and wives. When you have weak planning, you normally get weak systems that will cause fraud and losses. That is really what happens when you have poor business planning. And so, I'd like to talk about strategic business planning for entrepreneurs. The simple way and yet comprehensive way. Okay? Now, we gotta understand that in strategic business planning, there are actually two parts to it. Part one is when you make the strategic business plan, and that is really what you guys are in charge of. You business owners, you're in charge of the strategic business plan. Then after you make this, then you turn it over to your subordinates, to your leaders, to your managers, to your staff, who will now make the department action plans based on your guided strategic business plans. What do I mean? The strategic business plan will include your vision of the business. It will include your mission and the core values of your business. It will include the long-term goals of the business. So that is what we got to think about. The leaders, the top managers, the owners of the business. Then, you think about the core strategies that will accomplish those long-term goals. That is really what we are supposed to do as the business owner. That's part one. Then, you turn it over to your department heads, to your staff, to your leaders, okay, who will now make the department goals, the action plans, the initial budgets, so that it will now support this strategic business plan. And once that is done, it can be further detailed into individual goals for each department, for each supervisor, for each staff, their action plans, and from there you can now make your balance sheet, income statement, and cash flow statements. That is really the overall plan when you are making a strategic business plan or the business plan of the company. Okay, so now I'd like to really demystify to you planning. You think this is hard? Actually, if you are up to your business, I can tell you now that you just need 3 to 5 days to make part 1 of this strategic business plan. Okay, and all you need to do is to answer 5 basic questions that will now help in the strategic business plan. Only 5 basic questions. Let us talk about these 5 detailed questions. If you like what you're watching so far, give a thumbs up, give a like to the page so that I'll be excited too. Okay. So what's the first question you need to ask? It's this: what is your vision for the next 3 to 5 years? That's right. You gotta ask, what do you visualize? What does success look like to you? When you close your eyes, and that's the NLP way. We gotta really imagine how our company will look like 3 to 5 years from now. Now, most business owners will think about a yearly basis, but that's not enough, guys. We gotta look at the business vision on a 3-year horizon. At least 3 years, maybe 5, okay, ideally 5, but if that's difficult for you, minimum of 3. When you think about the business in terms of 3 years, it will just open up your mind. That's what I'm saying. And when you visualize over a 3 to 5 year horizon, really see it. That's what I mean. Really see how the business will look like. Really hear the things that is happening, and at the same time feel what you would feel when you have accomplished all of these goals already. I tell you, there will be magic, there will be energy when you will do that. Because when you do that, when you are presenting your vision to your employees, to your leaders, because you already were there, you will be inspirational. You will be able to show them the enthusiasm that is inside of you because you have already seen the results of this amazing business plan that you have. Okay? So, that's the first thing. Now, as you're doing your vision, you gotta take note of the following. Take note of your strengths and your weaknesses. That's right. Okay? So when we talk about strengths, this refers to what your company does well. Okay? So you gotta want to build from strength. You build from your strength. That is what you are really doing here. And these are some of the questions that you would like to ask, okay? When you are looking at the strengths that you have. What do we do well? In marketing, in sales, in operations, in finance, in management. So what do you do well? Answering that question. What are your core competencies? Okay? What differentiates you, your company, from the competition? These are the things that you would like, some questions you want to ask. Why do your customers buy from you? You also ask that question. Okay? So this will be your strengths. Then look at, of course, your weaknesses. We look at our weaknesses. So in humility, we know. Okay? So weakness is any limitation in your company, okay, so that it will now limit the way that you will develop your strategies. That is your weaknesses. So you would like to improve them, okay? And the questions you ask is, where do we lack resources? What can we do better? Where are you losing money? Okay, that's a good place to start. Okay, in what areas do your competitors have an edge? Okay, so you ask these questions, and now you can now summarize your weaknesses, and you summarize it by putting it in a nice, simple form, like strengths and weaknesses, so that everyone later on can see it when you present it to your leaders and your managers. Okay. Next is this. As you're thinking about your vision, identify also what are the opportunities and threats. Okay, what do I mean? Opportunities are situations that exist but must be acted on if the business is to benefit from them. So you'd like to really capture, you'd like to capitalize on opportunities that come your way because it will benefit your business. And some of the questions that you can ask also is this: what new needs of the customers can you fulfill? Okay, can you meet? Then, what are the economic trends right now and social trends that you can take advantage of? Okay, okay. What are the emerging political and of course social opportunities that are there in the market right now? What niches are the competitors missing? Okay, that you can now take advantage of. So these are like opportunities that you can have. What are the technology developments that because of it is changing the landscape of your industry? Okay, so these are like the opportunities that you would like to look at, but make sure that you also evaluate what are the threats. Threats are external conditions or barriers that may prevent your company from reaching your goals. So you need to mitigate it. You need to anticipate it. That's what it means. Okay? And so you say, what are the negative economic trends that threaten your business? What are the negative political and social trends that can, reduce your market? What are the competitors doing? Yeah, that will bite you. Okay, where are you most vulnerable? Right? Does technology impact you in a negative way? So anticipate all of this, and then just make a summary again of all your opportunities and threats, and you even rank them from what is like the most amazing opportunity and what is the highest threat to your organization, so that you now know priorities. When you do the SWOT analysis, the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats, then when you now do your vision for the next 3 to 5 years, you will have a better, opportunity, a better dream on how you would like your company to be positioned in the industry that you are in. Good stuff? Right. So, what's the next question? Okay, I said there are 5 questions. So the first one is, what is your vision for the next 3 to 5 years? The next question you need to ask is, what is your vision? What is your purpose for doing this business? That is your reason for being. And this is very important because your purpose, your mission is really like the fire that will make your company keep on moving forward through thick or thin. Okay, when things are down, you just think about your mission, why you're doing this, and it will just keep you going. Okay, so give a brief description about it, because you're gonna share this also with your employees, with your staff, and people will be aligned to your mission and vision because of this. I have some example mission and vision here from Amazon. It said, to build a place where people can come to find and discover anything they might want to buy online. That is a mission statement of Amazon. About Nike, to bring inspiration and innovation to every athlete in the world. That's Nike Air. How about our company, Sure Success Global, to build thriving families with thriving businesses, because we believe that the family is the foundation of society. So when we have thriving families with thriving businesses, then we will have strong societies. That is what we want to achieve for you guys. Next question, third question is this. What is your core values? Let me read this. What are the guiding principles that are the core on how you will operate? What are the non-negotiables that are critical to the success of your company? What behaviors do you expect to see? If circumstances change and penalize us for holding these values, will we keep on to it? That is the definition of values. It is actually the culture that you want the organization that you are in to operate in. It's how you would like as an owner to relate with your workers, with your employees, with your staff. It is how you would like your people, your organization to relate with each other. It is like the glue that will keep you guys together. That is why it is so important to actually define your core values. And this will also guide you when you are hiring employees or even firing them. Okay? Because the basis really is having the same or set of core values that people can embrace and can live together with. Okay? I tell you, this is powerful stuff. Okay? Many business owners really don't give too much attention to this. But I tell you guys, this is one of the basics when you want to do strategic business planning. Okay? So, like for example, for me in our Sure Success Global company, we identified core values. Like for example, we said we want teamwork, we want heart of service, we want responsibility, we want innovation, we want virtuousness, we want excellence. But not only that, we define clearly what do we mean by each of these core values. So for example, when we say excellence, anytime we balance effectiveness and efficiency, entrepreneurship and financial prudence, compassion and fairness. So that there is a clear definition of the values that we want. So for example, heart of service. Anytime we choose to serve from the heart our customers, both external and internal, and give the best we can with care. So defining it makes things clearer to each individual who is in your organization. Have you done your core values for your company? Okay? So if not, do it, my dear friend. Okay. Then, step number 4 or question number 4 is this. What are your long-term goals? Okay. And when you talk about your long-term goals, there are like 5 things that you would like to make sure that you have a clear view on long-term goals. Number 1, of course, everyone does this, is how much sales would you like to have in the next 3 years or in the next 5 years? Okay. Then, of course, you like this too. Profits. How much profits would you like to achieve in your company in the next 5 years? And because cash flow is important, then these 2 measures are key. Your days of inventory. Okay? How much days of inventory turnover would you like? As well as your payables, accounts receivables. How much would you like to be able to minimize the days of accounts receivable, because that will affect your cash flow. That's right. And finally, look at the return on equity, because if you're doing business and it's like not returning money to you, and you're better off putting your money in the bank, so better just put it in the bank, okay? Unless you have a very strong mission statement, okay? So these are the things that you wanna look at. Now, I have something unique here, because I say that as you, business owner, are doing these long-term goals, you gotta know yourself too. So I say, make sure you know some basic fundamentals. At the very minimum, okay, you gotta know how much is your break-even. I've helped a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, and sometimes we forget this basic of knowing what is our break-even point when we are selling. Okay. Next is this. you gotta know also your conversion rates for selling. Okay, so like, how much customers do you have? How much is your conversion rate, or how many customers will buy when you do offers? What is your average order size, okay, when they are ordering? And what is your customer lifetime value? So you gotta know these basic things so that when you are doing your long-term goals, especially on sales, then you will have a good basis of doing those sales estimates. Then, of course, I also do this. What is your hopes and dreams? And I say that you gotta look at 3 possible targets. What do I mean? What is your minimum like profit that you would like to have? Okay, so that you will have financial freedom. Your passive income is already equal to your like expenses, personal expenses. Then you would also like to have your your like target goals, your standard target goals. But next, have this, your mind-blowing goal where you're gonna go, wow! Like, you're just so happy when you're able to achieve that, okay? So, have these 3 goals in mind, your minimum, your standard, and your mind-blowing goals, because that will give you a lot of insights when you are doing your business plan, okay? And of course, not only financial goals, but look at also your emotional goals. When you achieve those targets, what emotions would you like to feel? Would you like to feel freedom? Would you like to feel like total peace? Or would you like to feel just bliss and joy when you have achieved those targets? Define them, make them clear. Then, of course, think about also your spiritual goals. Okay? What would you like to do when you earn a lot? What contribution, what advocacy would you like to do? Those are spiritual goals, okay? Something beyond what you have right now. So put that down too, okay? So these are the things that will help you when you are doing your long-term goals. Then I say that as you are doing this, okay, you complete it by looking at, this is funny, weekly monitors. Do you have good systems that will control, okay, your achievement of targets? And I say that a weekly bucket of monitoring is very important. So you look at monitoring your profits, you look at monitoring your business, you look at mechanisms of testing and measuring profit generators, as well as reducing expenses. That is what you look at, okay? So with that, it's easy for you to do your long-term goals. Do you agree? That's right. Okay. So now, the 5th question and the last question that you're gonna ask for your strategic business plan is this: what are your core strategies? So you know what is your goals, long-term goals. Now you gotta think of how you're gonna achieve it. And there are like 4 simple questions that you would like to ponder when you're asking also the question on what are your core strategies. Ask these questions. Number 1, how will we grow, stabilize, or retrench in order to sustain our organization in the future? Okay, so you look at growth, you look at stabilization, even if necessary, retrenching some of those products that are no longer promising, okay? So that you will now sustain yourself in the future. You ask that question. Next question, how will we diversify our revenue to reduce our dependence to major customers? Is your business so dependent only on a few customers? That's dangerous. So how will you diversify? Think about that as a core strategy too. Then, what must we do to improve our cost structure and stay competitive? Okay, self-explanatory. Then, and how and where must we innovate our products and services? So, innovation is key in business nowadays, because the life cycle of products and services do not last as compared to 20 or 30 years ago. Now the life cycle is even 3 to 5 years only for a business. And so we gotta be innovating all of the time. Okay? So these core questions will help you in formulating your core strategies. And once you ask these questions, then you can now start thinking on which department, which area in the business will be doing those things that you want to do in your strategies. So you like classify the activities in terms of empowering operations, your factory if you have one, or logistics or delivery, as well as finance and IT, as well as your HR. These are like operations. Then you want to think of your dominant marketing too, okay? And outselling competition, your sales. And after that, think about your core strategies on how you will multiply your business. Because that is what you want to do. If you have a successful model, then keep on replicating it so that you can earn more money. That's right. So, those are the 5 questions. As I said, when you do all of these things, you can actually do this in 5 days if you're really up to it. Okay? 5 days, evaluate it, then push it down to your department heads who will now develop their detailed goals. Okay? The detailed department goals and detailed action plans. Okay? Ask them to do it. Don't do it yourself. Pick your people, empower them, and present to them what you want, then let them do it. And ask them to do detailed action plans like this one. Okay? When you say that detailed action plans, you have detailed activities on what to do. You have a person in charge, PIC. You have a due date on when this activity will be done. And then you have the month in which it will be completed, as well as the proposed budget for that. Okay? So as I said, 4 things. Have a clear action plan. Ask them to do this. Make sure that there is a person in charge. There is a due date, a timetable, and of course a budget for it. That is the formula in which you're gonna be able to accomplish things. Now, just some more simple things, okay? When you are doing and asking them to make action plans, I tell you, maximum for the whole company, let there be like 7 key action plans. Not more than 7, okay? Ideally 3 to 4. Because when you have so many things that you would like your organization to do, okay, nothing actually gets done. Things will be, they will be overloaded. So it's better to focus on 3 or 4, maximum of 7, and really drill down the activities for each one with person in charge, and then monitoring it on a weekly basis. And now you will see that things will start to fall in place and things will happen in your organization. Okay, that is really one of the keys so that you're going to be able to accomplish your business plans and execute them well. Okay, so those are the 5 questions. What's your vision? What's your mission? What's your core values? Define your long-term goals, and then define your core strategies. And now you have your strategic business plan that you prepare, that you will now give to your workers, to your leaders, who will now make a detail of it. They present to you, and then that's when you give advice, or you add, or you ask them to do a revision on their budgets. That's really what you do. And when you do this, I tell you, the first week you do your strategic business plan, and then a week later, let them present their own plans, and you should be finished on your business plan within 2 weeks, maximum of 3 weeks. That's really what I want you to realize. It's as simple as that. And when you do this, you will avoid all of those headaches, okay, of cash flow problems, of product launch failures, of making the wrong investments, but most especially of having fraud happening in your organization because you didn't plan well. Or maybe you're gonna be able to anticipate now competition, market trends, so that your company does not get obsolete. Okay?